All right, so I finish off with rapid reaction. A lot of topics, a little bit of time. Let's go, Drink.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Los Angeles Rams cornerback Jalen Ramsey finally got his payday to the tune of a 5-year, $105 million extension. That deal includes a $71 million guarantee, and it resets the market for his position. Big deal for the Rams, right?
Like you said, man, they're just keeping that credit card swiping. And, they gave up so much to get him when you include the 2 first-round picks and the 4th-round pick. And now that kind of money, like I've always said, when you tie a disproportionate part of your salary cap to one player, when they're not a defensive end or a quarterback, it's so hard for them to make up that difference you're paying them versus what other teams are paying them. So Jalen Ramsey's that dude. If anyone deserves it, it's him. But boy, that's a lot of money. And going into 2021, they're going to have over $80 million just in Goff, Donald, and Ramsey alone, which is going to be about half the salary cap with the COVID reduction. So good luck filling the rest of that roster out. Pro Bowl retired UFC superstar Conor McGregor was recently tested by the USADA on his yacht. Drink, isn't he retired?
So, yeah, for those that don't know, that's USADA. That's the doping it stands for United States Anti-Doping Agency. Yes, he said he was retired. However, if you're still getting tested by USADA, no, you're not retired because no one's just getting tested for the hell of it. That's not how that works. And especially if they come on your yacht and test you, because the way USADA works is they don't give you much of a heads up. 3 dudes show up, ready to go, gloves on. We need blood, hair, and urine. And if you say no, you're probably not fighting for like the next 6 months to a year. So, by the fact that he did get tested, it's very hard for me to say that he's retired. So it sounds just like a verbal negotiation tactic at this point. The Rams and 49ers are playing at home Sunday, but the air quality from the massive California fires could potentially force the NFL to change the location. Should the NFL make this call, Cody?
It looks pretty dire. I mean, we've seen the scenes out of California with the sky all orange and Mad Max looking and whatnot, and I think that the air quality itself is continuing to drop. It's not getting better. Those wildfire smoke, which is now some of the largest in California state history, I think the largest in terms of acres burned, is definitely not getting better, and the situation doesn't look like it's going to improve over the weekend. The good thing for the NFL is now the teams fly out today, they still have a little bit of time to potentially make some logistical hurdles, and hopefully they could just flip the home games to keep this about even. But I don't think it's a great look. The Rams might be able to get away with it, but the 49ers park looks pretty bad. They might have to either postpone this game to like a Monday and fly the teams out to the other stadium or something like that, maybe go to Arizona, because it does not look good. It would look very strange on TV. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore's salary is going up from $10.5 million to $15.5 million, with $17.5 million max in incentives per Adam Schefter. Right call by the Patriots or not, Drake?
Yeah, it's right call. You got to pay somebody. Why not pay your best player on defense? It is what it is. I think he deserved it, well deserved. I don't have a problem with it. Even if they would have pushed it up even more, I don't have a problem with it. You got your best player, you give him the best money, and we keep rolling. Ohio State head coach publicly called out the Big Ten this week, once again pushing for a season start in the conference. With week 1 starting tomorrow, it sounds like the Big Ten is under pressure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is getting underway, and I think that, again, every week that goes by, the Big Ten is watching other teams play football and going, why can't we do this? It's going to mount a ton of pressure, and again, I think that we're going to get this back underway, hopefully by early to mid-October at best. WBC lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and former WBC champ Deontay Wilder are looking to target December 19th for the trilogy fight. Better late than never, right?
Absolutely. We need to go ahead and wrap this one up. Let's go ahead and get this third fight going. Let's go ahead and win or lose or whatever, and let's stop having this elephant in the room, low hanging fruit, all this good stuff, and let's get a result so we can move on with the heavyweight division, because I think this fight is kind of stagnizing the heavyweight division, because until this fight happens, you kind of got to wait. So hopefully they fight on December 19th. We get our entertainment, and then we move on with the division. Houston Rockets forward Daniel House has been booted from the NBA playoff bubble this week after allegedly sneaking a female COVID testing employee in his room. His head is in the wrong place with Game 5 looming, right?
Yeah, I mean, House isn't like a superstar or anything, but he's definitely a meaningful contributor on the Rockets. And it just goes to show, I mean, you got, 35-year-old, whatever it is, LeBron just locked in, doing his thing, going to work. On the other side of this, you got, your stars are flopping around, House is sneaking people in, getting booted out of the bubble. Like, it just shows like there's two different ways to run your team. And we clearly have both representations of it right here in this game. So, yeah, I mean, the Rockets were going to need him for game 5 to stay in the series. And they ain't going to have him now, so bad news for them. Saturday night on ESPN Plus, it's a top-ranked welterweight boxing main event at the MGM Grand Conference Center in Las Vegas between Mean Machine Kalavaskas and Michael Zewski. A drink, does this fight mean anything for the division?
Nope. This fight is about as meaningless as trying to say their names. I think that's why it's on ESPN Plus at 10 o'clock. It is what it is. Mean Machine kind of made his name. He did give what many people would consider the number 1 or number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world right now, Terrence Crawford. A good fight, but I mean, I don't think this draw that many eyes, to be perfectly honest. After a serious ankle injury Friday, it is likely that Denver will lose star pass rusher Von Miller for the season after surgery this week. How does Denver overcome this loss?
It's going to be hard, man. I mean, Von Miller is that guy. He has been for a long time. Not only is he incredibly productive on the field, but he is the leader of the team. He has been for several years now with all the other turnover they've had. And it's going to be a huge loss. Like I said, I think Bradley Chubb is going to step up immensely in his absence, but he's going to have to, because if he doesn't, this Denver defense, which was, okay last year, but not great, they're going to definitely have their work cut out for them if that offense isn't able to stay on the field that much. Last one, tomorrow evening on ESPN in Las Vegas at the UFC Apex Center. It's a UFC strawweight main event between strawweight contenders Michelle Waterson and Angela Hill. Who you got, Drink?
I'm going to take Angela Hill in this one, but I will say this. Listen, the loser of this fight, they get cut from the roster. Listen, this is the first time in forever I've seen a main event where neither fighter was ranked in their division. That tells me that this fighter could very well be getting cut from the roster, because you only got a short period of time in the UFC, and it's coming down for both of these fighters. But I'm going to take Angela Hill. They're both coming off a loss. That's another thing. They're both coming off a loss in their last fight. But Angela Hill, to me, was more competitive in her last fight than Michelle Waterson was in her last fight. So I'm going to take Angela Hill on that one.
All right, we'll conclude today's Drink of Wisdom. I'm Cody Ward.
And I'm Nathan Drinker. And remember, make tomorrow better than today, and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we going to do. We're going to holler at you until next time, baby.